One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back. Hey everybody out there, this is Aaron. How's it going? Before you fast forward past everything at the beginning of the episode, check it out. I have something I need to tell you about. This Friday, April 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, our friends in Circles Around the Sun are doing something awesome. This is an interstellar live stream featuring Scott Metzger, Adam McDougall, Mark Levy, and Dan Horn. And tickets and limited edition merch bundles are on sale now via fans.live/cats. So you can go on your computer or your phone, type in fans.live/cats. You can hook yourself up with a ticket, and then Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, you will actually see Circles Around the Sun play you a show from space. You don't have to think about how they did it. They did it, and you get to like chill out at home and watch an amazing night of music. So like I said, go to fans.live/cats and hook our brothers up, man. You know what? They pour it all out for us, man. And right now it's super important to support these musicians, these guys that pour it all out for us. It's time to give them something back. So hook them up, you guys.
Have you ever listened to Soule Monde?
Out of a chicken
That you got at Electric Fish Lights?
Shit.
We probably will. We probably will if we order a chicken light
Yeah.
from Electric Fish Lights.
You know what you can do? You can go to electricfishlights.com because right now you're going, what the actual fuck are these guys talking about?
You know what we're talking about?
We're talking about
Lights.
lights that are made with this thing called IQ technology, which is 30
technology.
interlocking pieces that can be configured into 15 different shapes. And when you put them together, it's basically unlimited.
The possibilities are endless.
The possibilities are definitely endless. So what you do is you let them know what you want, and like if you want a cartoon character or your favorite sports team.
What do we have a sloth, a minion, a sports lamp, a fish,
yeah.
a jellyfish. We have
and
many
an
of these
oblong
lights in our house.
kind of
Decorative, Art
Yeah.
Deco.
Yeah, and they have these color-changing bulbs inside of them. You can get a color-changing upgrade. And you can get the upgrade that has a color changing bulb and a Bluetooth speaker on the inside. So this isn't just a light. This is a piece of art. It's functional art for your house. It comes with a 12-year energy efficient, safe to leave on LED bulb, a 12-foot cord, and a hardware kit to hang the light. And they're going to hook you up with 10% off if you put in the promo code
NSR.
when you check out. And any NSR
NSR
family member that gets the color changing bulb upgrade will get a limited edition No Simple Road Electric Fish Lights collaborative poster.
It jumps to life when you turn this light on it.
And you
Sure
know,
does.
you want things to jump to life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Life is good. And lights are good. Light up your life. electricfishlights.com, promo code NSR. This episode of No Simple Road is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. They
Ooh la
offer
la.
precision-engineered tool for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, and No Simple Road has an exclusive offer.
No, we have a exclusive.
Yeah, what's that?
We have a exclusive offer.
You're going to get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code NSR20 at manscaped.com. And if you've heard the other Manscaped commercials on No Simple Road, you heard me talk about ball toner. Now listen, you probably said to yourself, Aaron, what the fuck is ball toner? Listen, you ever had those days when your balls just don't feel right? And
No, I
they're
haven't.
a little too sweaty
haven't? No.
or a little dry, and it's just not happening. Spray a little ball toner on there, off you go. You ever had those days, Apple, when your balls just aren't smelling the best? You know what you
Yeah.
could do? You could get some of these wipes that they have from Manscaped, wipe them babies down, and off you
wipe.
go.
I mean, they
Happy as a clam.
they are exactly like what they say they are: ball toner and ball wipes.
Exactly.
They keep you fresh.
And they even have the Lawnmower 3.0, which has a light on it, a flexible ceramic blade that won't cut your sack, and you can use it in the shower. This stuff's awesome, man. You guys, go check it out, manscaped.com. Put in the promo code NSR20. Don't cut your balls. Don't use the same clippers you use on your face, on your nutsack. Wipes, toner, Manscaped.
Your balls will thank you.
Yes, they will.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongSummerCamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongssummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
Mimi is a chicken. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know that,
We
but
didn't.
we learned that in this week's episode.
Hey, No Simple Road family. How's everybody doing out there? I can't hear you.
Doing good.
There we go. Thanks, guys. This is Aaron.
This is Mel.
And this is Apple.
And I'm Darwin. That's
is
not
Darwin.
how Darwin sounds.
No.
That is so not
that was
how
a
Darwin
bad.
sounds.
That wasn't even a tribute, or I don't know what that was.
How does Darwin sound? That's not really even him either. That was weird.
Look, Darwin is in a mood right now.
He is.
See, I'm getting that. Hey, this is Darwin.
He's sultry.
Darwin has infinite amount of voices
Mm-hmm.
because when anybody meets him, they hear his voice too, and then they have a little Darwin voice too.
And we were just talking about that last night on the patio. He's got a voice for we each
Yes.
have a voice for him,
Hey,
and he
guys.
has a voice personality for each of us.
I wonder if he does that with us. Oh, here comes Dad.
Hey, Dad.
In his head, he plays the game all the time, and we just don't know it.
Oh my gosh, that
He
would
could.
be great.
Now you said him, I'd like to think he's got a hyper one because I'm the treat dude. It's like, hey, Apple, here comes Apple. I'm Apple. I'm going to give you treats. I can't wait to give Darwin treats.
Dad. I always tell me what to do.
Wow.
What's your voicemail?
I don't.
You're not playing this game?
I just can't imagine it right now.
You should
Like
put
it's
her
not
on the
that I don't want to.
Hi, I'm Mom.
Mom, I love you, Darwin, more than anything in the world. You're my special boy.
Oh my
Yeah, welcome to the
gosh.
show, everybody.
Hey.
It's another week. We did it. We're back.
Yay.
This week's guest is Ray and Russ from Soule Monde
Monde.
and the Trey Anastasio band. They have made music together for a very long time and have inspired, delighted, and made me enjoy myself a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
You enjoy myself.
Yes, we do enjoy yourself and
No.
ourselves.
Yes, we
You
do.
know
And
what?
their music helps you do that.
It really does.
I was tripped out when I first saw them. It was like, wait, where's the drummer? Or wait, where's the guitar player?
It's right there. It's
Wait,
Russ.
Wait, where's the rest of the band? There's just a drummer and a keyboard player in Soule Monde. And if you've never listened to them and you go put them on right now, when you hear it, you're going to be like, what? How do two people make that
much sound?
much amazing music? But they do. It's nuts. And
They
then
use their time wisely.
they do. And then also, I mean, with 2020, with all of its struggles and all of its stuff, I think the Beacon Jams and the Trey Anastasio band are one of the highlights of music for 2020. At least for me, it happened at a time when, I don't know, I needed something like that. And knowing that there was like new music coming like that all the time and that they were putting it out there was super
And that was
helpful.
that was one that like a lot of people did streams. The Beacon thing, that was no little thing. That wasn't like, hey, tune in tonight for this. That was that encompassed a lot of music
And
over
then-
many days.
And it was super cool, like on the last night of the Beacon Jams, to see Trey like do the flash mob thing and go walk out in front of the theater and hand that lady the mask, and just the whole thing was really healing and important. And I don't know, the Trey Anastasio band has a special place in my heart because we saw them in Vegas at help me out, Mel. Where did we see them?
Brooklyn Bowl.
Brooklyn Bowl. And that show was so incredible. I had only seen Fish once when I went to see that. So I wasn't like 100% familiar with what I was about to see. And it blew my mind. Like Russ and Ray and just that whole band is.
Isn't that where we met that couple again?
Wait, what?
Trey Anastasio band.
What? Oh, yes. Yeah.
I feel like they're an ongoing couple in our life that we meet in
The one I
different
remember
cities
being with
all over
that was
the place.
on the patio.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I remember that. I remember going to 2 shows with you guys there where we.
Yes, where we
I didn't
met
go to
them.
Trey, but I was
No,
at
you
2
weren't
other
at Trey.
ones where they were there. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you again.
But that's when I started to realize what the scene was. I didn't understand what the scene was yet because I hadn't been in it.
What is the scene?
When the scene is the same people showing up to a it can be a handful or whatever of similar like-minded like projects, musical projects. So the scene happens to be, you know, the Dead scene or the Trey Anastasio or Fish or whatever scene, but jam music, let's just say, right? And so then, you know, say the jam bands in town for 3 days are going to do that. That's a scene. They're creating this community for a short period of time. And anytime it comes around, they want to participate. So it creates that scene. Their participation creates the scene.
And then people meet each other at the shows.
Because they're like the same thing.
And then friendships grow out of that. And I mean, that's how we met Jake and Bryn.
Exactly.
And Jason and Audrey.
Each show you go to, you're going to reconnect with those people.
Yes.
And that's one thing we missed in this last
Cody?
year.
Yes.
Is seeing some of the people that, well, a lot of those people you just mentioned have become our friends and we see them at home. But there's a lot of people we were starting to see a whole lot.
Like,
Sam and those guys. Like
Willie Burns.
Yeah, that we haven't seen. There's such a great connection through these shows.
Really good connection.
Yeah, you know, we just talked to Mark Brownstein from Disco Biscuits today.
Ooh.
And part of the conversation we had with him was about the pod style concerts. And he's really down for it. And he made some really good points about,
he really did.
about the going to those kind of shows and how he likes that. And I agree with what he said on one hand, and on the other, I don't. Because there's something really, when I think back to the concerts that we've gone to that I really love and that I had a blast at, when I'm in the groove and on the dance floor with all those people elbow to elbow and sweating, and there's something really special that happens in moments where you lock eyes with somebody that you've never met before. And you're both having that same thing happening. And there's like a knowing nod that happens and a psychic exchange, and then you're on your way.
Well, the
and that energy
inability
spreads.
Yeah.
The inability to like communicate, talk to each other, like even if you're not in each other's space, that's fine. Like being separated, like isolated your own spot, but like not being able to go over and be like, oh my God, that was so dope. Because you have to, you know, maintain distance between pods and stuff like that. So the connections that you make clearly can't be the same.
No.
Like that just won't be until, you know, who knows how long.
Until such a time as pods are.
But you know, in
Separation
Spain,
has been created.
They did this thing in Spain where they did a rapid COVID test. And I guess you would go like maybe like in the afternoon even, and then people would come back and get their result, and they went in and they wore masks the whole time, and they did not social distance. It was like looked like an old concert, but with everybody with masks.
So I read a thing today about EDC in Vegas.
Oh,
it's happening.
It is?
Yes.
Wow.
And what they're doing is, if you can, there's two lines to get in. One line is for people that have had their vaccinations, and you can show your vaccination certificate and go in that line.
Okay.
If you haven't, you go in the other line. They're doing a rapid COVID test, and they have COVID sniffing dogs.
What?
Yep. And everybody has to wear a mask.
Okay. Well, I mean, EDC, that's fun. You dress up anyway, so
yeah.
Okay, whatever.
And
yeah,
if
a lot of them already wore masks that they made up their own before anyway.
If wearing a mask is what it's going to take to get me back at a concert, I'm fucking down. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's get it on.
That.
Like, we're already doing it anyway, so what the fuck's the difference? But my point is, there's that moment of like psychic exchange that happens between people on the dance floor that is probably one of my favorite parts about being at a show, is sharing that with the people around me. It's not a singular experience to be in that space.
Well, and that's something we all of us love to do is mingle, take off on our own.
Sure.
That's like being able to take off in the middle of the show, like I'm going down on floor for a little while. See you guys
go
later.
Look at the merch table.
Or I'm going up to merch, or I'm going up to balcony.
I'm going to go get us some water.
It's fun to go find the different people and stuff and the different sounds and that.
This is like the shitty part of like breaking up with somebody. Like when you break up with somebody, you're like, but I loved going to that little pizza spot together, you know, or I love doing whatever together.
Mm-hmm.
We're breaking up with how the old style was, and we're gonna have to wait to create something new. It was cool. It was cool, but now we got to do something else.
Well, I mean, I'm down to do
that's
this.
what it takes.
Yeah, if that's
like
what
you
it,
said,
we
if
have to
that
participate
masks,
no matter what. Whether you're going to get vaxxed, whether you're going to wear a mask, whether you're going to do a rapid
I like
test.
that flaming lips where they're all in the balls.
That was dope. That was super
You
cool.
look like a bunch of hamster balls at a concert.
I don't know, man. Unless that thing had air conditioning on the inside,
that's true.
Some bad things can happen at a show.
That's true.
Yeah, I could just see like I'm so hot. I'm gonna
Yeah.
Man, this bubble sinks.
And farting in there. Oh my God, dude. It would be a nightmare. Halfway through the show, burping.
I need to get out of my bubble now.
Man, you'd be popping that bag to get out. People be yelling at you. Security be running over, pumping air back into the thing. No thanks. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just think like at some point we're gonna have to get back to rubbing elbows with each other.
There's no going back.
Gotta rub elbows again, man.
Yeah. But there's going
I
forward.
think people do rub elbows now. That is where they
going forward. That can happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of optimism right now in all of the spaces. Like bars and restaurants are opening. Like there's a lot going on. I drove downtown yesterday, and it was popping. Like
I have an announcement for everybody. There was concerts announced here in Portland.
Yes,
that
there
we're
were.
Actually going to like
July.
Real drive-in style live music concerts at Horning's Hideout.
Well, the Garcia birthday band was announced and is in Vegas, or not Vegas. Sorry, guys.
Wow.
I don't know where my head was at in Portland, which is happening this upcoming weekend.
But,
so,
Yonder Mountain String Band and the infamous String Dusters are playing at Horning's on July 17th and 18th. Is that correct?
But it's Green Sky first.
No, it's not. It's Yonder.
Is it Yonder first and then Green
21st
Sky
and then the
following?
28th.
Okay.
That's
and then
the two different weekends.
The next Tuesday is Green Sky Bluegrass. So Yonder Mountain String Band and the infamous String Dusters 1 week. Following week is Green Sky Bluegrass. If you haven't got tickets for that, you need to get your tickets immediately because they're selling out. I think the first couple of rows already sold out if they aren't already done. And yeah, man, we would love to see your smiling faces there. We're going to be there. I'll probably put up our flag somehow.
The 20th and 21st, first Tuesday and Wednesday is Yonder.
And then the 28th.
String Dusters, 27th and 28th, which is also Tuesday, Wednesday, is Green Sky.
Yeah, man. And so we're going. That's going to be our first like real, I'm doing air quotes, show since Andy Frasco and Humphreys
Well,
McGee.
I mean, there might be something before July that we would go to.
Yeah,
that's the first one on the books.
Mm-hmm. And I have something else to tell you guys about too. If you're on the No Simple Road newsletter, you know about the class that's coming up here.
Oh, yeah.
We're hosting Jeff Firewalker Schmidt, who is a
curandero,
medicine healer, PhD,
martial arts expert, a musician.
Yeah.
He's a Renaissance man.
Yeah, definitely. He's one half of Saint Disruption with John Medeski. He is flying out from Asheville and coming to the No Simple Road studio, and we are hosting a class, Sovereignty and the Warrior's Path, Opportunity in the Time of COVID-19. And you can go to nosimpleroad.com and sign up. This is June 4th, and you can, if you're here in Portland, there's 15 spaces available. You can come to the house and see the lecture here, the class, or if you're not here, you can sign up at nosimpleroad.com as well. There's two options when you check out the in-person and then the online. So like I said, there's 15 spots available, so they're going fast. Get them. If you're here in Portland, get your ticket so you can come check it out. Yeah. So you guys, that's something else, man. That, we talk about magic and manifesting and all that kind of stuff here. And this thing happening is a prime example of the universe making something happen. It is exactly what we're talking about when we talk about that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
This wasn't something that like we sat down and masterminded months ago and da da da. This is something that just, we had an interview with Jeff. Jeff felt a call that he wanted to do something with us, and this is the thing that's come out of it. And man, I'm just saying, if you listen to No Simple Road and you have had a difficult time with 2020 and you feel in that liminal space between like knowing what to do and not knowing what to do and just feeling it, sign up for this thing. This
also, if you're feeling like you need a little bit of like empowerment, maybe it was a rough year, but maybe you actually had a good year and you need to like, you want to get involved. You want to help yourself so that you'll be able to be more fruitful and helpful to those around you. This is an excellent opportunity to like up your own personal game, give yourself some strength. Whether it was a good year, bad year, indifferent, like I think everybody needs extra energy right now. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs a little bit more clarity on what to do for themselves. Everybody could use some, ancient and really beautiful lessons.
Yeah.
So in the modern times,
a
by the way.
couple of the bullet points from the flyer for this, we will learn internal energy processes for grounding and clarity, ways to release fear from the body, methods to access more energy, techniques for connecting to the earth to achieve insight and connection, native and mystery school understanding of this period of planetary evolution. That's fucking awesome right there. Prophecies from numerous ancient cultures about this time. So those aren't little things. Those aren't like, sorry, my mic is tripping.
Well, what basically, if you do listen to the show, this is like we're behind this. Like Aaron and I are behind this. We're like an Apple. This is the exact kind of thing that, like, when I say I want to put my name behind something great, like this is what I feel like I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, and it would be super rad if our family showed up in force and like supported us and Jeff and each other. In a weird time that we're all in. We are.
Yeah, and it's only $35. Like
it's 30.
Right? Oh, it's $30. Look at that, guys.
I think. Shit. Now you got me second guessing.
We
I don't
know
even know
if
how
it's
much
30.
my own thing is.
It's under $40, everybody.
Yeah, that.
It's under
I'm
40.
Check it out. Hang on a second. It is some dollars. Hold on. Let's do in person.
The point is that it is very, very easy to obtain, and come spend some time with us and with Jeff and be in a really strong, energetic space with us.
I got it. It's $35 if for the in-person. Like I said, there's 15 spots, and it's $20 if you do the online. And
that's even
listen,
better.
Seriously, and I'm throwing this out to all of you out there. If you really want to attend and you can't afford it, send me an email at info@nosimpleroad.com and just tell me what's up, and I'll make sure that you get in. All right? I don't want there to be like somebody out there that just can't fucking afford it but really wanted to do it.
That's true.
Just hit me up, man, and we'll make sure that you get a code to get in, because that's not happening. Not with this family.
Yeah, we want everybody to be a part of that.
And just so you know, like all the money that we make from this goes right to Jeff
and his project
and his projects and Saint Disruption and all the other stuff that he's doing. So this isn't like NSR trying to make a buck. This is us just trying to take care of the family and spread some knowledge and some love out there, and make sure that we're all ready to keep grooving into the future and help each other out, man. So
with a strong, solid foundation.
Boom, like that. A few weeks ago, I was like, well, I guess it's more than a few weeks now. A while ago, I was like, I want to start bringing stuff to the family that'll help them out, man. And looky here. Lo and behold.
Yeah, we've been doing that over 3 months now. Yeah. Started in January, pretty much.
Yeah, it was a new year, our New Year's resolution, and we have held to it.
Yeah, for real. So, yeah, you guys, like I said, nosimpleroad.com. Just scroll down a little, you'll see the banners. And also, this is Wow, we have a lot of news this week.
A lot happens.
Yeah, lots going on. Also, this is the week for the TAM Integration Psychedelic Family Integration Jam. And NSR is speaking on Friday night at 5:15 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. So if you haven't signed up already, go to nosimpleroad.com too, and you could scroll down. You'll see their poster on there. You can click on it.
And it's free,
register.
you guys.
Well, the first night
the first night.
First time's free.
And that's when we're speaking. So if you want to see us, make sure you do that. And then you can buy either the live package, which is you are able to go to the classes as they are happening, and then you can also do the lifetime.
Dude, they've got everything from like shaman to like integrating psychedelic experiences with aliens,
creating a sacred altar. Like there's so many.
The people that like even like he said, you get a famous.
LSD.
You're a famous LSD maker once you get busted.
They even have a couple of chemists, LSD chemists.
Yeah, so it's 4 days of really beautiful people speaking about psychedelics and integration and things that are helpful and things that maybe you could use in your tool bag coming out of one of those psychedelic experiences.
So yeah, that's the workshop portion of the No Simple Road intro this week.
We're expanding, you guys. We're doing a lot of. We're not just doing the podcast anymore. We have other things that have kind of landed in our laps that we've manifested, that we're a part of, that we're super proud of, and that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, but you know what? The show is first, and you guys are first.
Yeah,
and bringing you stuff like Ray and Russ, and
this is a great interview.
Dude, we have
such
so
good feels on this
many
interview.
good episodes for you guys coming in the next few weeks. Like, oh my God, I just want you to listen to all of them at once.
You know what's
we just do a dump.
My favorite thing is knowing that someone listens to No Simple Road and they've heard more than one episode.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of doing the show, Apple?
My favorite part of doing the show?
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorite thing is learning new things, music, thoughts. It is learning.
That's cool.
I think that's cool. What I would say. Yeah, learning about new bands. I get a lot of input from that from people that listen. You know, man, you introduced us to another one. It's like, hey, we got introduced to it too. It's like an incubator for new like thought and music and everything. So yeah, learning.
I think my favorite part is the feeling of not knowing what's going to happen with it.
Yeah. Unpredictability.
Which that's cool to hear you say, because usually you kind of.
I have no fucking idea where.
Usually you kind of like to have like need a plan or something.
Well, I have I have my idea of what I want to do, but like I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's the more we talk to musicians, the more I realize that this is a jam band. This is that. We have like a framework and
it's like, hey man, you want to join us on stage?
Yeah. And we get in here every week and we have a framework of how we do it. Like we're going to do the business today. We're going to do an intro. We're going to do the commercials. Right.
Yeah.
But anything that happens in between that, I don't fucking know. Like,
no,
we didn't plan any of this conversation.
Remember?
Oh yeah, when I wrote it all out an hour ago. Yep. No, we don't plan anything.
This is after our 5th rehearsal.
That's right. Yeah, this is the 6th run through. No, so this is a lot like that, and I like that feeling of not knowing where it's going to go, and like the unpredictability of it. And sometimes I've noticed that we'll record like this, and when we're done, I'm like, that was lackluster. Like I wasn't feeling it. And then I'll listen to the episode when it comes out. I'm like, that was fucking good.
I've realized I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I realize is a lot of those days we're in this room for hours at a time. We're exhausted. We're starving. It's like let me just say this. We haven't necessarily hooked ourselves up before we came into the studio. Like our time, we kind of ran out of time, so we're only on like coffee or whatever. So we get like famished, and then we have to do like maybe 1 or 2 in a row, We have to like do the intro. So by the like when we leave this room, we've done some really kick-ass work.
Eyes are spinning.
But we're fucking.
We don't realize it at the time.
No, it's like because I've thought that too. I'm like, that shit sucked. I've said it to you guys, and then listen back, and I started to realize like that was a long day. Or what? Dang, we were recording for 4 hours that day. You get out of, you're tired, hungry, so like.
Well, and then like this, like we usually do it on Saturdays. This is the three of us. It's our one mutual day off together. So there's also that mindset of like I'm off of work. And we're doing this, so sometimes it's hard to like get the gumption going at first, and it feels like that. But then, like you said, you listen.
I'll
back,
listen back. I'm like, damn.
It's like, damn. We're
Yeah.
I really thought that sucked, but it didn't.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll just get into my week. Like,
Yeah, babe.
I don't know, man. It started earlier in the week. Like I'm in the midst of a realization. It's not fully baked yet. It's like been in the oven for a couple of hours, but it's got a little more cooking to go before it's tender. I guess to put it into context so you guys will all understand the thought that I'm not speaking. When we talked to Brownstein today, we were talking about like how he's done all this stuff with headcount and like starting it and a successful band, a few of them, and like all the stuff that he does, and the people that society would have counted out as burnouts or losers or
misfits
are the ones that are making shit happen now. So like,
yeah, everybody grew up.
If you didn't, I mean, if you took Peter Shapiro 20 years ago and looked at him, he was a kid with a video camera in the dead lot on acid. That guy's fucking running the game.
Yep.
Right
Changing
now.
shit, making stuff happen.
Yeah. And I think that coming to my 50th birthday is making me retrospective. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm realizing that we're doing it. Like, it's hard to accept for me that what I'm doing is successful for some reason. Even though like I can see it and I intellectually understand it, I emotionally don't feel it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to feel it.
Good.
And like, it's not an ego thing. It's like a gratitude feeling. It's like, holy shit. And like that imposter syndrome of like feeling that you don't belong at a table, you know?
Yeah.
And then realizing that you've already been there. Like you're there and there's nobody's questioning whether you're there or not. You are. Like you're fucking scooching around in your seat constantly. Everybody's not even paying attention to that. So yeah, that has been on my mind a lot this week. And like, there's a million fucking podcasts out there. Like literally a million podcasts out there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And like, not all of them are on Osiris.
No.
And not all of them have talked to the people that we've spoken to or been the places that we have or done the things that we have. And that means something to me, you know? And I wasn't giving myself credit for that shit. And not in a, like I said, not in like a kind of a way, but like, wow, man, you did that. Like, be proud of yourself and like have gratitude for the opportunities. And it just feels good to be building something real.
Yeah.
And like you guys out there responding to it the way I would respond to it if I were you listening to me. Like, that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
And I'm just really grateful for it and for the opportunity. And like, the place that we've landed and where we're going, wherever the fuck that is. Like, it's dope. And the future of the music industry, and we're part of that. And we're moving into wherever the whole scene goes, we're going with it. And that's really cool. And I'm proud of us.
Yeah,
and
me
it feels
too.
good. That's what's been on my mind this week a lot.
That's excellent. It's nice to know that you're finally feeling the rewards of a job well done. Because there's nothing, right? Like,
to own that.
Yeah, because think about it. I'm sure everybody can relate to some degree. Maybe you made like the literal grade. You studied for the test, you passed it, whatever. But everybody's always on to the next, or not even that. Just like you have such high expectations that even successes are like it's an expectation there that you already met. So like no big deal. But when you can actually sit back and chillax, look what you've done, be more reflective, like you were saying. This is already an entire legacy that you've, like, if we stopped literally today, there's an entire catalog of some of the best people in the music industry for people to go back and listen to these personal, amazing testimonials and accounts of their bands and their lives and their families and their struggles and their successes. Like, that's freaking amazing. So I'm glad that you're finally feeling that, because that's part of the reward of even more monetarily is like personal fulfillment and personal acknowledgement.
Yeah, I was going to say that monetarily thing hadn't happened yet.
Well,
I know. That's why I said more than.
I think we talked about this. It's like creating history too. I think about that, like with the people we've had on, like say Dwayne Bett's grandson years from now wants to hear Grandpa do an interview, is going to search us out. That's going to be available for
Nigel wants to hear OT.
Yeah, Nigel wants to hear his dad talking, and we're one of the people that interviewed him and gave him a great platform to have fun with us on. We always have fun with everybody we have on.
It's a peek into the people's lives in a really great way. Like, I love listening. I love and hate. I'll say that. I love listening to old episodes, but I hate it at the same time.
Can't do it.
Because my voice and just sometimes I feel like I'm...
equipment drives me... The sound drives me
like there's
shit.
A lot of reasons why, but...
Well, some of the early on ones too, that was 3 years ago, we've morphed a lot.
Different people.
Totally
it is like
people.
Listen, like some of the earlier, it's like when you look at a picture of yourself of years ago, it's like, I don't even recognize this dude. It's a trip.
How was your week, Apple, on that?
How was I
on that note?
My week, well, first of all, I want to start kind of piggybacking on Aaron. I like what he was saying. And then the one thing we are, the three of us are No Simple Road, but we're also three individuals that bring ourselves to this and put ourselves out there. And got feedback, we got an email from a listener, Paul, out there. Like a lot of times it's like No Simple Road, and then we also get things that thanking us each individually. And this week I got one from a listener, Paul, that just kind of thanked me again for being open and honest recently about my health problems and going to the doctor. And he's in the same boat, same age, same boat. Learning, at 50.
It's a weird boat.
It is a weird boat once you hit 50 and start realizing things. So that thank you, Paul, and everybody else out there too for being supportive of that, because it's not the easiest thing to do sometimes.
No,
putting yourself out there,
not.
But it feels so good after you do, even without any feedback. It does, but then
it's a relief, right?
Yeah, like John B. He reached out and was like, "Bro, I've had a couple of the same issues too. Thank you for being open and honest." It's one of those stuff, like this platform. What we're doing also lets a lot of listeners out there and ourselves know that we're not alone either.
Yeah, in
the things that we go through.
We got another letter too from David, and I want to read it to you guys.
You're gonna just interrupt?
No, on the heels of what Apple's talking about, getting letters.
No, I guess I was.
I want to read this letter. He can continue when I'm done.
No, we're on a strict time limit.
You
got 12 seconds.
And we have a schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been listening for a couple of years now, but NSR has become my go-to podcast over the last year. I look forward to the new episode each week. Recently, I've been going back and listening twice, like Jeff Firewalker and Gordon White. I've already listened 3 times. I read up on iodine and started taking iodoral based on your recommendation. By the way, nobody on this show is a doctor or any medical anything. We're a bunch of wooks.
I'm not a wook.
But just
We
saying.
share what works for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's the disclaimer. And started taking iodoral based on your recommendation. It's been a game changer. I also really like the CBD tincture Sunset Lake makes. I've also become a big fan of Midnight on Earth, and Jake has taught me a bundle. Anyway, just want to say thanks and keep the good stuff coming. Look forward to your Asheville trip, as I call it home for the last 8 years now, and you'll love it here. That's from David.
Asheville.
Yeah,
I love
man.
that Asheville comes up so much in our lives. It's like, wow. Can't wait till we make it back to Asheville. We have so many people to meet up with back there.
It is a trip, Apple, to get feedback from people that what you said did anything for them.
Helped. Yeah. Especially when it's helped them, when they're like, thank you, that helped me. That's very rewarding. But on top of that, back to my week, this month, I think I mentioned it last week. This week is our build up to 420.
That's
working in the
right.
cannabis
Woo-woo.
industry. We're still in the midst of this pandemic thing, so it's not a huge celebration like it's been before, but it brings people out in droves. It's kind of like a Black Friday sale or something. People are lining up and want those deals, want their medication. So that is pretty much my month. It started
April
at
20th is your month.
Yeah, it's building up to it, making sure we're prepared and everything. So again, if anybody that's listening is out in the area on 420, come visit us
At Define Premium Cannabis.
Yeah, at Define Premium Cannabis. And other than that, it was a good week.
Are you feeling any better,
I was very
man?
busy, huh?
Are you feeling any better?
I'm going back and forth. I've got a lot of. I'm feeling better medically, but head wise, still dealing with things. It's getting through this springing and not up here. Where we've all been talking about that. It's like one day it's like spring is here, and the next day it's cold and rainy again. It's a weird transition. You can feel it when you're out there. The people right now, everybody's kind of more angsty because it's like, it's time to part. No, it's time to go back inside. It's time to party. Nope, it's time to go camping. Nope, it's hard to know, and that kind of is in the air. And I've been feeling it, and until we get through 420, that's I was last year. It's just part of my job, what I do. I'm gonna be stressed out and mind kind of not all there until we're through this. But other than that, I'm doing good. I have another follow-up doctor appointment next week and taking care of things.
Right on.
We're doing our family nutrition thing we talked about. So yeah, we're doing things.
Making money moves.
We are making money moves.
Dude, the No Simple Road house got a fucking nutritionist. That's
so I wanted to bring that
badass.
up because that is a manifestation of my own since I moved here.
Yeah.
With these guys.
These lugs.
These wonderful men. I live with a bunch of really great men, but habits are really hard to break when you have partners that like the same habits as you. And so in order to get something done around here, we really need to do it as a group. Otherwise, it's going to be like pouring acid in a cut, like it's just impossible to do. So I started with the whole nutritionist thing because Sydney mentioned it, and I was like, okay, I'll hit up Magnus. And so I just threw myself in there because I was like, you know what? I'll do it too. I want to heal my gut. I'm already doing good stuff. Let's just do it all the way. Then I start talking about it with the guys, and Apple's like, I want Magnus to tell me what to eat. And Aaron's like, well, we all should do it then. And I was like, in the back of my mind, remember one of those moments, in the rewinding, when you rewind the VHS, and and then just looking back at this, I want my guys to be healthy. I want to have strong guys. I want to why can't nutrition be our thing also instead of indulgence? Like, I love indulgence. That's why I'm down to have fun.
That's
and
why we all
party.
need it.
But
you need a good, healthy balance of both.
But yeah, like, it was too big of a task for me to handle on my own. I just couldn't do it. I needed help. And I'm so grateful to Magnus because he's such a positive influence on each one of us individually, and then as a group.
That's the thing that makes this so amazing. That's the reason it was easy for me, because I'm not one to get into the health kick diet, anything like that or anything. But it's because of our friend Matt. He's like our cousin, our uncle. He's a great person that came into our life years ago and has recently come back into it and is now doing the nutrition coach. So
he's just motivating, to look at, let alone to conversate with, So I am very grateful for that manifestation.
Yeah, man, we got I bought a mace, steel mace. I'm doing mace stuff. And Ryder bought some Indian clubs, some steel clubs. So we're working with that and doing the nutrition thing. Dope.
Yeah. That's how my week's been. It's been filled with a lot of things, actually. A lot of movement, thought movement, emotional movement. What?
You made up with your mom?
I made up with my mom last night, everybody. This is hot off the press. Hot motherfucking
I don't
press.
I don't, look, No Simple Road family, I don't even know the whole story.
The whole story is there is a woman out there, and I am just going to say her name because I'm not going to promote anything, but I have been researching and really paying attention to this woman on Instagram, Queen Afua. And she is a wellness and health coach and a lot more than that, but I'll just sum it up as that. And she is very big on speaking about womb health, WOMB.
Not room health.
Yeah, womb health. And one of the first things that she says, she was talking on this show, and she was like, if you're going to heal your womb, look at the relationships with your parents. How do you feel about your mother? How do you feel about your father? That you go no further. Like, you have come from a womb, and if you are a woman, you have a womb, and maybe possibly if you're a mother, somebody has come from you, right? So you need to be able to heal these relationships that are closest to you. And right then and there, after I heard that, I called my mom up and I said, sorry that I've been mad at you, and thank you for what you've did for me to get me this far in life. And she was quiet and she was like, I love you, Flaca. It was, and so we just had a really great conversation. But I've been holding on to a lot of resentment since almost last May about after my uncle died, and just over dumb shit that, what I realize is what Queen Afua was saying is like, we all do our best when we're a parent. We don't know what we're doing.
Mm-mm.
We really, truly don't. And then these parents, you become an adult and your parents are adults. So now you're on the same playing field and you see them make mistakes from a level playing field and you chastise them consistently. Like, they're a human being. So what if they didn't act right one time or two times? Like, they're on the road of life. Now, she didn't say this, and now I'm embellishing, right? But this is my.
I was like, damn, that was a good memory, Mel.
This is my interpretation of what she said. Yeah, this is definitely paraphrase. Thank you, babe. But yeah, like, this is my realization, I guess, is what I'm seeing in my head. Is like I'm chastising my mom for the same mistake over and over, and then two, for stuff that I had forgiven her for already, and just like throwing it in the bag for this time. And that's not fair either.
Well, like you brought up last night, the whole thing of it's your beef.
Yeah, that's right.
That was really poignant.
So
that part.
She also said, you don't need to wait for your parents to come to you. You're healing yourself. You need to take action and go to them. She's like, this is your problem with your parents. So they may not even have known what they've done this time, you know?
They're being all stink and they have no idea
What at all.
what the hell it is.
Yeah, maybe not even this time. It's just like, or at all. So like here you are with this attitude and throwing your parents shade either above or below ground, and they may not even be aware of it. So I was like, Mom, we're squashing the beef. And she was like, I don't have beef with you. You're my daughter. And I completely understand what she means. So it was literally my beef with her. I was mad. I was upset. I was holding her to this impossible standard that I felt like she deserved because that's how she used to treat me when she was younger. But I'm here to rise above that, not to stay at the same level. And I'm here to heal our family too. You know, it's not just her responsibility.
Yeah.
It's all of our responsibility. So I just called her with the agenda to make up for good for once and for all. And I did.
Well, I'm proud of you, baby.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that beef is over because I saw the turmoil, internal, external.
I was always stewing about it.
Yeah, it was always under the surface.
Literally eating me alive.
Yep. And now that that's not there, like this morning I got up with you. Saturday morning, Mel picked up a shift at work and I got up with her to make her coffee before she took off. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I looked, she's boiling water. I looked over at her and she was just smiling, boiling water. And she looked over at me. She's like, I made up with my mom last night because I went to bed super early last night. I wasn't feeling up to being awake. And so I missed all of it. And I look over and she's smiling. And I made up with my mom last night and I just felt the like weight of all the bullshit from the past few months just like gone. I was like, oh, thank God.
It felt like that.
And she was shot out of a cannon because she came out and joined me and Ryder out in the patio having a couple cocktails, hanging out. And Mel came. You just came like busting out the door. I thought you'd gone to bed too. And all of a sudden here comes Bussy. She was
I
like,
usually
you were
would have
like
been in
so
bed.
like invigorated and wild. She came out just like wild.
I wasn't even high yet.
Like, yeah, exactly. You were high on the moment and what happened. And it was just so good to have that healing happen and for you to be, you know, okay with your mom again.
Yeah.
Well,
and to have that behind you and to get it out and share it with her.
Yeah.
Because your mom is a very special person.
My mom is, dude, my mom is rad. And if I talked about her rad stuff as much as I talked about her shitty stuff, then nobody would ever know about her shitty stuff.
Yeah. Well,
because she's a very caring person. She's hilarious. She's always entertaining.
She's down for whatever.
And since she's come and lived with us here and then gone back to Vegas and come back and living with Melanie's sister now, she's opening up. She's learning and she's letting herself learn.
Yes.
And she's taking down some of the guards and walls. We all have those.
Yes, we do.
To see her do it, she is such a strong person.
Yeah.
To see her open to changing and being better and stuff, and she's getting there, and it's awesome to see.
She's
and
talking
for you
about
two to be friends again. You're always mom and daughter, but now you're friends again.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's yeah, man. When Jenny was here with Brady, we did a little ceremony and we lit some candles, and everybody had their own, intention, and that I lit that candle for my mom I just didn't want to be mad anymore, but I didn't have the skills to navigate it yet.
Yeah.
And I feel like Queen Afua was a catalyst for that. Aside from
that candle was the catalyst.
Yes, the candle was the catalyst. Queen Afua. Then
she was an agent of the universe.
Yes, she was an agent, babe. She was an agent, and she has been an agent for a lot of personal transformation and empowerment lately.
Cool.
And that's all I'll say about that now. If somebody wants to know about it, you can text me or email the show or whatever. But what I've been exposed
that's all
to.
I had to say
well,
about
because
that.
it's too long to get into. I'll be on this for another 2 hours.
Okay,
because I'm fired up about this.
All right.
But just know I had a really good transformational week. I had extensive healing, and I'm super grateful to have had Ray and Russ on the show.
Yeah, man. These two guys. Well, I mean, if a chicken likes it, It's got to be good.
Mimi likes it.
Mimi likes it.
We'll let you listen, and you let us know.
Soule Monde just came out with a new album called Mimi Likes It, and
Mimi digs it.
Sorry,
Mimi digs it.
Yes,
and
but she does like it.
And you'll get that whole backstory here. This is great.
Yeah, and these are two guys that are like, I don't know, man. If there's a in the pocket for humanity, these guys are in the pocket. You know what I'm saying?
They really are.
Yeah,
they are.
and. Yeah, let's do the business and get them to the interview already. I mean, God, do you guys ever shut up?
Yeah, follow us on Instagram at No Simple Road. And then...
if you want to sign up for the newsletter, go to nosimpleroad.com.
There it
and
is.
you can sign up. Or if you want to find out the information on the workshop with Jeff Firewalker Schmidt in June, that is where you go, nosimpleroad.com. Also, the TAM integration sign up is up there.
For next
That is
Friday.
our events that we have going on at the moment. Go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Thank you to everybody that has become a Chan donator.
Oh,
There's
guys.
There's an army of you, and we love you.
Thank you so much.
Man, you can go there and you can give $1 a month. You can give $10 a month, 20, 50, 100,000,
$1.23.
An amount that makes you feel good when you see it come out of your checking account.
1111.
That's rad. Yeah.
That's why I like it when you see numbers like that.
Or 1008.
182, and makes you think, why 182? That's a special number to someone.
1212.
Right? So you could go on Patreon /No Simple Road. You can give as little or as much as you like, and guess what? That's how we pay to keep doing the show. That's how we pay for what we do.
Stuff, everybody.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff. And you know what? It's because of you guys that we get to keep doing it, and we love it, and we want to keep doing it, and that is how we're going to do it. So that's the spiel for the bucks.
All right.
If you want to do something for us that doesn't cost anything,
leave some reviews. Yeah. Did you look?
I looked. There's on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, but we had that one.
You know, the March 10th was the last one we've had, but there will be more coming in.
Come on, somebody out there that's listening right now, you are our April review.
Yeah.
You could totally be that person right now. You, right there, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Go on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. We'll read it next week on the show. Okay? And then if you want to call in,
Tepid.
971-808-1524. That number again is 971-808-1524. Operators are standing by. I got something in my eye again every time that happens. Anyway.
Well, now you got your finger in your eye. That's what's going on.
That is what's in my eye.
Here. I can see your finger in your eye as you're digging.
You can call up and you can leave us a show review. I know there's some people out there going to see Billy Strings.
We've asked for a recipe. I mean,
nobody's left us a recipe.
You can leave us camping stories. I mean, there's so many stories.
Tell me about the time you went hang gliding naked.
A poem, a haiku, whatever you got going. We're open to leaving a hot coo, a tepid purr, a warm bark. I mean, whatever you want.
Yeah, you got it.
We're not. Thing is, we're not putting any limitations on it. Do what you want.
You know what? You just renamed the line. It's not the tepid line anymore.
No limitations.
The unlimited line.
No, the no limitations line.
No limitations.
No limitation
line?
Okay. Call the No Simple Road No Limitation line.
Yeah.
At 971-808-1524. There's no limit to what you could do when you call it. You figure it out. How do you like them apples? Yeah.
So,
without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you Ray and Russ from Soule Monde. Look at that.
All right.
Welcome. How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing great, man. The weather's changing up here in Vermont, so you got a little colder, but it's good. It's good. The sun's out.
Oh, yeah. Finally, the sun is out.
Yeah.
Those are my dogs barking.
Heck
Sorry.
yeah.
That's okay. We're dog friendly.
Yeah.
We are dog friendly.
You can't see it.
You
He's
might
chilling
hear him
right here.
snoring a little bit. He likes to do that sometimes.
What kind of dogs are they, Ray?
But one's a Belgian Shepherd. The other one is sort of a, lab kind of mix thing.
All right.
And every time the neighbors walk out to get in their car, they erupt. But it'll pass in a minute.
It's cool, man. It's all part of the game.
Shall pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead, Russ.
No, I was gonna say it was funny because we have some of our practice gear in the front of his house, but I'm thinking the other day, it's like, nobody's ever going to mess with it. Those dogs erupt every time.
Yeah,
Send out the hounds, man.
Nobody's
Boom.
touching that shit. Well, you know what? I got to start off with a thank you to both of you. I know that the last year and change has been a challenge for everybody. And what you guys did with the Beacon Jams was medicine.
Yeah, I felt that way too, just for myself even.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
me too. Woo.
It was a much needed thing that went down, you guys. And I don't know, like doing something like that, like you just said, Ray, that you felt like that too, but while you're doing it, do you have any idea the magnitude that that's hitting people while it's going down?
Well, we got a sense. I mean, you were there in a stage in an empty house. It was really weird the first time, but we came to get used to it and kind of like it in a way. But we had the screen up there where all these emails are coming through and texts and whatever, and just the overwhelming thing was like, thank you so much.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it was amazing.
my brother, my family, they're all like, now Friday is a thing. Like, I can't wait for next Friday.
Right.
What are you going to do? It became like it was great.
Yeah, man. I just sitting home and having that come into the house and seeing you guys having fun made all of us feel like there was light at the end of the tunnel. And
Oh yeah, there is. There is.
So you guys are getting ready to release an album? Is that what I hear?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So what's the name of the album?
The name is Mimi Digs It.
So who's Mimi?
Mimi actually is a chicken, or was a chicken. She's gone off to chicken nirvana or wherever they go.
Okay.
But we have a bunch of chickens here, and for the eggs, and Russ and I would rehearse out in the barn in the summer and make a lot of noise, and the chickens kind of hang out, but they would all take off when we started playing, except for Mimi. When she would come in, I think she was either deaf or I'm not sure what the deal was, but she was just curious, and we were working on one song, and I finally noticed her there. And so we ended up naming the song Mimi Digs It, and that became the album.
That's
That is
awesome
so sweet.
backstory. Oh my God.
Thanks, Mimi.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So can you take me through like doing this in this style and the way that you guys did it? Cause was this in a recording studio or no, this is at your house, right? So
Well, no, we worked up all the material. Russ, chime in if you want. I realize I'm
Yeah,
talking
this
a
is-
lot, but
Sorry.
Open forum.
open. Yeah.
oh yeah. But we were rehearsing in the barn, and just during the pandemic, not doing gigs, and so we'd get together once or twice a week and just play and try to come up with stuff. And we ended up coming up with a whole bunch of material and just kept working on it. Still no gigs. So eventually it was like, well, let's just make a record.
Oh, wow.
Just
Yeah, that was kind of the mission too. But I mean, fortunately, our last gig was like early March, so at least the weather was getting better, so we could go out in the garage, the barn, open the door, and even then we were worried about. We didn't know what this, even us just hanging out together was a good, for
Right.
the COVID, So
Russ, did we talk at the beginning of this?
I think we in the summer. I think it was
Right.
we were under the lockdown, and we had just started rehearsing right about then, or maybe
That's right.
it was like, okay, I think we're safe to at least hang out a little bit. But matter of fact, we just did a video, and I had the mask on, but it just at first I was like, oh, I should take the mask off, but it's like in a way it just represents the time period.
Yeah.
Of what's happening.
It's a strange thing, man. Like the shift in reality has been so complete and apparent for us, all of us. Like I remember when this thing started seeing commercials and stuff, like with people with masks on, and being like, God damn, that was fast. They produced that stuff fast. And it felt strange. And now at this stage in the game, when you see that, it represents a time period now. So, I mean,
yeah.
nothing
I
wrong
was
with it.
talking. I was talking to someone. What were they saying? It's like, yeah, I was watching a movie the other day, and everyone's in this room, and they're all talking really close to each other, and I'm like, no, don't do it.
It's really weird.
Yeah. Or you see the captions like this piece was recorded before COVID. Just
It's like a disclaimer. Yeah.
Well,
Disclaimer,
shit,
that's the
man.
word,
People
yeah.
got to be careful. You know, you get canceled or get in trouble nowadays, man. If you put the wrong thing out there, you're done.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting talking about this because when we were doing the Beacon jams, Trey was like, he was hyper conscious of all that stuff. And the only reason we could do it is because we got a special exception from the state of New York and the city. And they had very strict, like exactly how things had to be done. But when we were recording it, you know, for the live stream, all the musicians would take their masks off. We didn't have to if we didn't feel comfortable, but everyone in there was tested, you know, every week. And it was like all very strict kind of thing. Like even at the last one where he wanted to go out in the street and be dancing around with a whole bunch of people, and the city said, no, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
How did the Beacon Jam start?
I believe Trey told me that it was, he was looking around for he wanted to do some kind of live stream thing, looking around for black box theater. And
that's right.
Richard, the tour manager, accountant, sort of good man Friday, does everything. He was friends with the owner of the Beacon, and was talking to him one day, and the owner of the Beacon, I can't think of his name now, he's some famous guy, said, well, why don't you just use the Beacon Theater? Because no one's using it, and we'll give it to you for free. And just
Whoa.
And so that was kind of a no-brainer.
Wow.
I said, okay, we'll do it here.
I watching stuff like that, like I said, thank you for that. And in watching it, something occurred to me that maybe you guys can answer, I don't know. But as musicians that are used to playing rooms that are filled with people and receiving the energy back to you, and also at the end of a song, the feedback that comes through the applause and the cheering, one of the things that struck me about that particular stream was just and Billy String's stuff too, like at the end of the songs, it's just silence and you guys laughing and bullshitting with each other. Is that an adjustment for you to get used to that when in an empty room like that?
Yeah, I think it definitely was, but we got used to it. And like Ray was saying, we were getting some feedback from the, we had a big screen set up, so people looked hyped up. And so you're like, oh, this, it felt good. I mean, I love having the feed, playing the crowds, and you just, for me, it was every week was a bunch of different songs. So you just got a lot going on your plate, every week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it was exciting. All these new songs, like, all right, how's this? Got my little cheat sheet once in a while. Like, okay, I think I know this one, but you don't want to,
Yeah, there was one night every song we played, like none of us had ever played it before.
What?
I think it was like later on. That blew my mind.
So he just comes to you, he's like, oh, hey guys, we're doing this stuff tonight, and you just have to figure it out.
Well, we would have maybe half a week to figure it out. And we were getting together in rehearsal for a day or two before the show, just to make sure everything was together. But I would just add to what Russ was saying, as far as playing to an empty house, it was cool because we weren't facing the actual house where the people would be. Oh. And that made a big difference because you weren't looking at an empty house.
Right.
We were looking at, the stage. And after the first night, it became clear that what the whole sort of juju was going to be like a garage band, like we're just playing together. And so the enjoyment of just doing that with all of our friends, we've known these people forever. And it just was really fun. It was like, it's music for the sake of music. And, people are listening somewhere, or you hope. But it was just fun.
Yeah,
That sounds like a certain freedom of its own. Doing it like that,
Yes.
getting into that group,
Yes.
playing for yourselves, and just having fun.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it comes across too, man, like and does with Soule Monde too, like it's such a unique thing that you two do together. It's
Yeah.
so amazing. And there's a certain feeling to it that I don't get from any other music. Like that particular thing is its own special groove. Yeah, man. And I'm curious, and either of you, you know, just feel free to go for it. Like, how did you guys get started playing together?
Oh, Russ can tell that story.
Well, I used to live down outside of Boston, so I played with a couple of Hammond B3 players, and I love the Hammond. So I had this vision when we moved up here, so I get like a duo together. And actually, this other guy was in this band with this Afrobeat band, Zebra. He moved back to Vermont for a while, and we played, but he didn't play Hammond, but he had keys. It didn't quite gel. And Ray and I run into Ray, and because we live pretty close by each other, so I'm like, hey, let's get together. And this guy had a club like an hour from here that had a Hammond in it. So let's get together, and all you have to do is bring your clavinet, you know. And so it was one of these, let's go have some fun. So the guy basically, we get done, he had the book open. You guys want to play once a month? And we're like, sure. So then we started getting together and working on. I get this beat, you know, Ray. I get this song Tango, and we just do these home recordings, and it was wow, it sounded really good. So it's like, let's keep doing it. So once a week, once a month, twice a week, you know, just is a slow climb. It was really cool, very organic way, opposed to like, we're gonna start this band and we're gonna like, you know. It was pretty cool.
It seems a lot different when something happens like that, because I mean, the only thing I have to equate that to is this, but like realizing that you're having a blast while you're doing it, and then for no other reason than you're having fun, continuing to do it, and then on top of it, like having any measure of success in the entertainment industry is like hitting the lottery, you know. So it's gotta feel fucking amazing when that starts to take off, right?
Yeah, and for me, at the bottom line is I've been doing in original bands for a long, long time, and it's really hard. So you get to that point, even it's like, it doesn't have to be some amazing, we're filling like 2,000 seaters. But the bottom line for me is, it's nice to get some money or to have a little success, but it's the creative process.
Right.
Like we work well together, collaborating, and that half the time is these songs coming out of it. There's the big joy right there. Or just when we were recording it, we listen back like, wow, that's really damn good. So
we watched a live stream last night of this band was Special, and they covered a Primus album, and it was amazing. But my point in telling you that is watching these guys play together. The thing that kept coming to my mind is how much fun it must be to see your friend absolutely killing it playing their instrument.
Oh yeah.
Is that like the best feeling in the world when you guys are sitting there facing each other, and like Russ, you'll see Ray just go off on something. Do you get like so jazzed from that?
Oh yeah, definitely. And when the tape is running and you listen back and you're like, we did that. I remember this. It's kind of like the single is called Tiny Land. We didn't have an ending. I'm like, let's fade it or whatever. So we just kept playing, and we're like, we don't have to fade it now. That ending's amazing. It just turned into, you know, that's kind of why it happens like that all the time. You know, it's really cool.
Ray, do you ever listen back and like think to yourself, holy shit, I did that? Like that was me.
Yeah, well, sometimes, you know, I like the happy accidents a lot. You know, that to me is what really makes something turn a corner. Because if you know exactly what it's gonna be as you're playing it, then that's what it's gonna be.
Right.
That's true.
If you close your eyes and jump off the cliff, you know, you never know. You can fall on your face, but then you get up and you keep going. But sometimes you can just fly a little bit. It's great. I love that.
Yeah.
What, Mel?
It's just amazing because you said something earlier, getting together 1 to 2 times per week, and you created this new album. That's not a lot of time together. I mean, there's 24 hours in a day, maybe what, like a 2 to 3 hour session at best, maybe more. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe say 4. So maybe 8 hours a week. And you guys are creating something that is timeless. It'll last forever. And that's not a huge time investment. It seems like for what you're creating, it should be way more time.
Well, I would say, yeah, you're right. And the reason is that the time that we're together playing is we've already been working on the music. Like Russ comes up with these grooves, and he spent his whole life, figuring this stuff out. And me with my music. And he says, here's a groove. So I'm like, well, Ivan and I will get together once and say, well, this could be a bass line. This could be this could be that. We need a B section. And then the rest of the week, Russ is in his studio working out B sections for rhythms. And I'm at my little camp on a piano trying to figure out, different ways to go with it. Then we get back together next week and we each have all this new stuff, but it's all focused.
I see. So you're creating the skeleton when you're together, and then you guys go home and kind of fill in the parts later on and come back to create the person or the body.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's pretty accurate.
That's a beautiful way that's great. Like, let's come with these funky, fresh ideas. Let's do it, kill it, go back home to our own little corners, and then let's flesh it out at the end. It's a really great way, especially now. Like, what a innovative way to create during this time where we can't freely be together.
Yeah, well, it works for us, that's for sure.
Yeah, it works out good. I mean, I'll record a beat, send it to Ray, and then matter of fact, we forgot about the piano one that you just sent me. It's like, whoa, we got to record that for the next.
Oh yeah,
record.
that Ollie one. Yeah.
But some of the songs, I remember this summer, my vision of this summer is like that song, one of the songs on the record, Ollie 88. I had to really, I kept trimming it down and with the drums and trying different things. And so it was a lot of homework too, and I've always done that with other bands. We'd have a rehearsal space in Boston, and then I wake up the next day on my little cassette and trying to make it better, or go right back to the beginning the way it was or something,
Yeah.
It seems like at this stage of the game of 2020, 2021 reality, that at least for me, I've started being able to find the silver linings in all the bullshit that's gone down. You know what I mean? There's certain personal things, like being able to spend more time with my family and not being so busy and hurried, and being able to pay more attention to my health and things like that I've been able to find through all of this. Is there any silver linings that you've found, Ray, during this time that you could pull out of it?
Oh yeah, I think I would probably agree with what you just said. I mean, it's funny. I was just doing I was talking to Russ this morning where I was doing the taxes for the corporate taxes for our business.
So fun.
No, but this year it was 'cause there wasn't anything.
Oh shit, yeah.
I was like, wow, man, that's we had 4 or 5 gigs or something at the beginning of the year, and I was just like, wow, we've just been home all this time, and but I've enjoyed it. I mean, we came up with this record. We've been doing these things, still getting together, and it's okay. It's like a little pause button.
Yeah, man.
That's cool. That's cool to hear, because I think a lot of times, and I will say this, most of the musicians that we've interviewed, last year and up till this year, have had a super positive outlook on what this time has brought them. A lot more clarity, a lot more creativity, and adaptability, the ability to pivot from, the traditional, okay, we're going on tour, we're going to do this. And it seems as if it was a much needed rest and respite for the industry and everybody involved.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep positive. Fortunately, some people, whatever, just keeping the positive attitude really helps.
Yes.
I just looked at it like I was a young kid again. Now I'm just going to, all the stuff I haven't had a chance to practice because I've always got something pending that I just, bam, I just get back. Oh yeah, this section of that song always kind of wasn't whatever, blah, blah, blah. And
But so Russ,
Try to
is that a normal tendency for you to be on that positive side?
Yeah, I think that's why the only reason I'm still doing this.
Right on. Right on.
Because if you don't, man, if you start thinking about it, it'd be like,
Yeah.
you know,
You nosedive.
yeah, but it's the need, it's the positive, and it's gotten me a lot further being positive, or whatever. I don't know. It's the love for it. I've been doing this long time. Even when I was a kid, I was thinking about it the other day. I go up in my room even before I wasn't even practicing. I just go up there and play, and just enjoy it. And then that's. I've been even trying to do that more because something's always pending. I get a fair amount of recordings with other people, and you always kind of want to show up prepared.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like you are accustomed to using your time wisely.
Yes, you do. You really do. Especially having children too.
Yes.
Like you got. My daughter's older now, but okay, I got to pick her up at school at 3:00. So you get your butt up and you practice till it's time to go. 3:00 comes quick.
Yeah. That's true, man. It's Mel and I have 2 kids, and like my friends that aren't parents, there's a difference in your way that you manage your life for sure. I mean, if you're a good parent, that is, it forces you to really learn how to take care of things other than yourself and
in a timely fashion.
Yeah. And I can imagine being a musician, that's like only adds a superpower to your arsenal, because now you have to focus when you can focus.
Yeah. I mean, even I was a bartender for years too. So I wake up, practice all, day, pick up my daughter at school, then go bartend in the morning. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do.
Right, man.
It happen,
Totally.
Yep.
Ray, what were you doing before you started playing music? I think I heard that you were a milkman. Is that true?
When did I start playing music? I don't know, probably I think my first paid gig, I think I was 17 or something.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Some little barn or bar thing. Think I made $20 or something. I was like,
At 17.
But, yeah, something like that. And but so since I was a teenager, I've always been doing it. But I did milk cows for 10 years. I went to school, and when I got out, I decided I was going to be in this band with some friends that I have met over the years. And that was the first like real band. Like we were going to travel, we were going to make this music, and it was great. And so I had to get a job where I could just, that wasn't a big deal.
Right.
And it turned out to be milking cows. And it worked out great.
That's called hands-on work. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because we do a lot of local gigs, in Vermont, and I drive, finish the gig and get in the truck and just drive to work, and then work till 10 in the morning milking cows, and then go to sleep. This is perfect.
That's cool, man.
I can't imagine doing it now. It would kill me.
No, that's called being older and wiser, man. That's
I'm curious if there's any life lessons that you learned along that way, milking cows.
Yeah. Isn't that true?
Get a different job.
Yeah, no shit, man.
No, was this like you're like hand milking cows, or with the machines, or?
It was like a pretty big dairy. It was
okay.
Machines, but you also have to milk some by hand, and it was I was a kid. I loved it, man. In Vermont, it was great. You're up in the middle of the night in the summer. In the winter, it was a little rough, but in the summer, and you're doing all this vet work. You're calving and trying to help these animals. It was intense. It was great.
That's cool, man. So what was the attraction for you to the Hammond and the piano? Like what was the draw for you?
Well, I've always played piano, and I always loved the instrument, but as you know, they're very hard to carry around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sort of half a joke, and then they started coming out with digital pianos, but it's not the same.
Right.
Yeah. And then I heard for the first time, John Medeski and some of those guys' stuff. I was like, whoa, okay, I love that sound, because it was constantly changing, like how I hear a piano, depending on how you play it, you can get all these different sounds out of it. It's like a real organic sound. And I heard that and I was like, oh, okay. So I found it, cheap little Hammond, and figured out how it worked. And through, people that I met along the way, figured out how, what I needed to do to get proficient at it, and just kept doing it. And now that's the instrument that I play on the road.
Man, it's such a unique thing. That instrument is a star all by itself, just sitting on the stage. That thing has a presence and a weight, pardon the pun, to it.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
yeah, and just seeing somebody that's able to pull the sounds out of it the way that you do, from a fan's perspective, it's like watching a wizard do magic.
Yeah, it is like kind of a magical instrument. I would agree. It's funny because it's this inanimate thing, and you're just pressing buttons, and I love it. It's cool.
You're a hell of a button pusher, man.
To me, it's one of the to me, it's one of the happiest instruments there is. Like your guys' stuff, when it comes on in the house, no matter where, if one of us is on the patio, we all end up there. When you guys are playing with the bass, I mean, it's so happy when you hear the B4 and everything, and then you throw in Russ's beats and you get that butt. I mean, it's always like a dance party whenever your guys' stuff comes on our playlists or anything. Or it's just like groove time. All hang out as family and just dig it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So
that's so cool.
Pardon me for not knowing this, but what came first? Did Tab come first, or you two playing together come first?
Oh, Tab.
Tab, definitely.
So that's how you kind of met each other, is through that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep. I remember the day you were down, and the barn was being worked on. We went down to Trey's cellar, and I went down and like, hey, this is Ray. I'm like, I had met you one time. We did a festival together with Viper House, and when I was playing with Gordon Stone in Maine or something. But yeah,
that's amazing to see. Like, so Tab is its own universe. That band is, well, obviously one of our favorites, but to see that you guys can just get together, I think the thing that blows my mind the most, and I said this to Russ when we talked the first time, I had never seen a duo do what you guys do. It was my first like entry into that. I had never seen anything like that before, and it was really kind of musically jarring and exciting to see that, you don't need the rest of the accoutrements and accessories, that you can just strip it down like that. And I'm wondering for you guys, like, when you go on the road with Tab and you've played all these shows in different cities and stuff, and then you get together as a duo, is it a hard shift to like switch gears? Are your ears listening for that other stuff?
No, that's a good question.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Because we're so ingrained to what we have as a unit that I never, either side, it's a cool change, and we go.
Yeah, I'm just agreeing with you. They're very different very different sonic things to me, anyways.
Yeah, it's a very different sonic thing to the listener too, man. And is it a stretch for you, Ray, to carry the parts like that? I mean, or because I'm not a musician, obviously, so like, you're carrying the bass line, you're carrying the melody and the rhythm and all of it with this right here. That's it.
Yeah.
So it seems like that would be just like out there.
It took a while to kind of figure out what worked and what didn't. And I'm still working on things, both of us are.
Right.
But I forget what I was going to say. Because a person only has two hands, it automatically puts a limitation on certain kinds of dynamic sort of things. Like, and it's really, for me, it was a really good thing. It's like you have to be focused and in a way that's I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
You can only play so many sounds at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a different kind of like recipe, sort of. I'm not sure how to.
No, that makes sense. And it seems like that, what you said is exactly how it would be. It would be.
Well, till you get certain wizard, you're asking him, about his wizardry. A wizard can't share all. He's having a hard time putting it into words. Just happens, man.
First, you find a green stone.
Got it. There's one right over there on the table.
And you have to make a special soup.
Don't ask me anymore.
Figure out the
One
rest
of the things
of
I was going to say, though, was because of that, I'll stop playing the bass line, and just as like an automatic thing, because to go do something else, and it brings something to the music. Because when having a bass player say stop playing is really hard.
Hey man, can you stop doing that?
Drop out.
Just drop out, because it's so cool when it comes back in. Like, it's okay, and it's just been a learning thing. So there's a lot of that. It's like, it's okay if stuff stops, like, it's okay.
Well, that tension and release is the thing that a lot of the time that we as fans are responding to, is that when something drops out and then you bring it back in, that's the time when like my feet go into overdrive is in those moments.
Exactly. Yeah.
Playing the silence.
Totally. I think I heard Garcia say that he wanted to play the space between the notes.
Yep. Yeah.
And
that's a big one.
Well, that's a bass player mantra right there. It's like, it's all about the note and what's in between the next note.
That's a concept that's like blows my mind, is to have two people in the same room that are doing their own thing, and it comes together in a way that rhythmically, sonically moves other people. That's nuts to me. That's like the why I've been chasing the sound for 30 years, running from concert to concert, is because of that thing. Well,
that's music.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's magic.
It really is magic.
Yeah.
It feels like that more.
What
were you saying?
No, you look at, even as a musician, you're looking for that new band and that new sound, it's easier now, but my good friend of mine and I would always have our pens and paper ready. We'd listen to these like college radio stations when we were kids, or like, what was that? Or your roommate come home with this. I just discovered I was at the record store and they played this, and you end up being, just obsessed over
your new favorite thing. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And it moves you so much too. It's like, whoa, I'm still looking for that constantly. Something that catches your ear,
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's not. Don't be sorry. That's fantastic. That you're right. I think we all feel that way, whether we're like you guys are playing and bringing that, or whoever's going to see it and receive it and be a part of it in their way. We all want to enjoy whatever that magic, quote unquote, thing is, that spark of creativity or the discipline of it, or whatever comes out. We all enjoy it. We all need it. We all want it.
And what you were saying too is, it seems like now, at least for us in this house, there's more of appreciation for the chance to have it. I think I took it for granted that shows were a thing, and new music was a thing, and talking to you guys was a thing, and
that it's always going to be there.
Yeah, and then
we
talked
about that, like it was always there. There was the next festival. We were like you guys planning your year out, like the beginning. You're planning things for the end of the year and have things set in stone, and to not have that for this last year has really made us we go inside of ourselves and kind of clean house and and get ready. Now we keep talking about that when things get ready to blow up. It's very looking forward to it, and it's also kind of scary at the same time. Like, how is this going to be?
Yep.
What's going to happen? I just want, this is a silly thing, but South Park just had a recent episode that came out, and it shows like after everybody gets vaccinated.
Oh shit!
It shows the festivals and like everybody's just going ape shit. They're naked. They're running around, throwing stuff. You know, it's just, when things take off, it's going to be, everybody's so ready to go. The musicians, the fans. It's just going to be such a party.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine who was saying that everyone he talks to, that's, you know, they're musicians, and they're all saying it's going to be like the Roaring 20s.
Yeah,
like when this is over, it's like, and all I could think of was like, "Ooh, what happened after the Roaring 20s?"
Yeah, no shit.
Well, after
the Great Depression.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, we were talking about that the other day at work, me and my buddy, because there's the Spanish flu, then the Roaring 20s happened, and then there was Prohibition. They had to like lock liquor down because everybody just got too crazy. You know, it's going to be a trip to see what happens, but it's definitely going to be fun. We got to be careful though.
Well, it's given me a new appreciation for all of it, and I see it different now. I mean, I understood that it was like essential for you guys to play and for us to be there, but I see it completely different now. It's a whole different thing, and I wonder if through this you feel different about playing, or if it's kind of just more intense.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question. I'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, man.
Once you start playing again.
Is it a hard pivot for you guys to be putting out an album right now? Like, because normally you would be doing a tour to support it and playing shows and doing all that. Is there anything that you're doing to support the release of this other than talking to us? Or
Yeah, we're doing whatever we can. Hopefully music is going to come back this summer, and that's when we'll do the album release. You know, it's just sort of up to Mother Nature and whoever is going to figure all this out, which is us.
Dang, you guys have, even, you know, just talking to you, your groove is fantastic this way as well. Like, between you, Russ, and Ray, your positivity and just like, I don't know. Yeah, let's see what goes on. Like, that right there does get transferred into your music. I want you to know that ease and that neutrality,
comfort,
but with style and creativity. And so it answers one of my questions, is just like, you know, you guys are just having fun, being creative, doing your thing, but your personality does come out in it, whether you know it or not. And just by talking to you guys, I feel that, like, that
friendship,
the friendship, the ease, the comfort, all right, well, Hakuna Matata, that's what it feels like. You know, no worries, it's all good, you know. And yeah, we need that right now. I need that right now. Just the reminder. And, you know, I'm what they've classified as an essential worker. I've been working through the entire pandemic. I didn't have one break. It's been, you know, nonstop. So I've had a different perspective, you know, and I never realized for myself, because I'm, you know, working all the time like that those concerts and those ability to get to see other people's creativity was an outlet for me that of course I knew that I had it, but I didn't realize what it did for me. You know, I didn't realize all of the things that it helped me to relieve or alleviate. And so for you guys, and you can answer this each, like, is there something that you didn't realize that performing or traveling or the way that your quote unquote jobs were before provided that you didn't realize till now, you know, till it was taken away?
We made it. We made it set break.
I always like a good set break. It's a good thing to be in a set break.
Yeah. You can look around, take in your landscape, and
Yeah.
associate
sit
with
back
others.
and then relax.
Yeah, and if you really want to relax, you know
I do.
what?
I
You could go on over to Define Premium Cannabis.
What?
If you're up here in the Portland area where we are at, we have this is our sponsor, and I'm saying we have because it's where I work. We have 2 locations, one in Hillsboro, one in Forest Grove to serve your needs. We are also a growing company. We now have our own farm processing facility.
Yeah,
I've
that's
not mentioned
fantastic.
that very much on here. So we got you covered. You come on out, you visit us. It is a tricky landscape, the cannabis industry. New things all the time.
yeah.
So many products, so many things to know about, and we will help you find out what you need tailored to your ailment or whatever it be.
You know, if you're like one of those people that gets anxious when you go into a dispensary because there's so much in there, think about this, man. You listen to No Simple Road, you hear Apple every week. You can actually go into the Hillsboro location Monday through Friday. He will come out of the back dressed like Apple, and he will help you find what you need.
I know I can pull that one off.
Yeah.
You made it easy on me this week.
He will actually, like, you will know somebody in the dispensary and trust them. You know what I'm saying? You listen to him every week. Go in there, have him hook you up. He's an expert with this stuff, man. And, you know, it's the best of the best because he's buying it. And
when you come in, you want to make sure to tell us you're a listener. You will get 10% off your purchase every time you come in and mention you're a listener. We'll get you a free t-shirt the first time you come in. We will get you feeling good and on your way.
And then when you're on your way, speaking of t-shirts, you can go to shoptourbus.com.
Ooh, why would I do that, babe?
Because you're going to get yourself a new shirt because shows are starting up again.
Yay.
And you don't want to walk into that first or second or even third show
I want to represent.
wearing the same shit you wore last year. You want to have some new, fresh duds.
I sure do.
So you want some Grateful Dead inspired merchandise, the best of the best on the internet, go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Check out what they're up to, and they are going to give you free shipping. If you put in the promo code No Simple Road when you check out, your shirt's going to come to you in a hand-designed, one-of-a-kind box with a Grateful Dead lyric on the inside. It's going to have all kinds of extras, and some lucky few of you will even receive a Grateful Dead bootleg cassette on the inside of that box. So,
which is so cool.
yeah, go check out what they're up to, man. This stuff is not your run-of-the-mill Grateful Dead inspired thing. This is something different. If you've heard me talk about it and have never done it, now's the time. Go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Put in the promo code No Simple Road when you're checking out.
Do it.
And get yourself one of these beautiful, intentionally done, lovingly made boxes.
Yeah.
And let's get back to the interview. I think Seth breaks that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here
lights
we
are dimming.
go.
I don't know. That's another good question. I know that if I don't play music somehow, somewhere, some way, I do go a little crazy. And I just don't feel right. It's a way for me to let something out. That's I've found since I was young was very important. And so, but I'm still able to do that. Like it doesn't have to be in front of people.
Sure.
I just need to, I can sit in my camp and play the piano and work on things and still feel that same, it's different, but the same kind of release somehow, because it's such an emotional thing, music, I guess. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
What about you, Russ?
Yeah, well, for me, I mean, it was the same thing. I was like, okay, we can't do this right now, but I'm just going to take advantage of this downtime and be creative, practice. And then, luckily, Ray and I got to do this album. So occupied my mind with a lot of that, So it's like, okay, it's a lot of times too, if you're doing a record, some rock bands, that they'll take 6 months off and make a record or whatever. So it's the same kind of thing a little bit.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I mean,
we did that Christmas record too.
It's so cool.
Yes.
We did the Christmas thing. And so I mean, it was a little weird once in a while. Like, what am I doing this week?
Yeah.
But my wife was happy. And maybe she was ready to get rid of me, but no. But I was around a lot, but
We can't forget about Lamp either, man. Like
I know that too, bro.
That's a whole other ball of wax. That I mean, we have a Sonos in our kitchen that is set to play in the morning when we're making coffee, and the Clips Dog whenever that
Oh,
comes
yeah.
on, man,
Yeah.
it's a groove party, making coffee 6:30 in the morning in our kitchen. So
Excellent.
thank you for that, man.
Right.
That album is
You're welcome.
amazing. Is there more of that coming to us? Are we going to get more Lamp in the future?
God, I hope so. I mean,
definitely.
once this stuff is figured out, for sure, we all want to do it. So
Fuck yeah. You know, it's something I always wondered, and it's a question that I haven't asked anybody before, and I think of it sometimes after we're done, and I'm like, fuck, I should ask that. But, you know, like, listening to music, there's those moments that I get, like, overwhelmed with emotion in, like, it happens a lot listening to audience recordings of, like, old Fish shows or old Dead shows that I went to, and I'll remember the moment and, like, tears just come to your eyes for no reason, or the hair stands up on your arms and you're like, whoa. Does that ever happen to you while you're playing? Do you ever
yes.
get that rush of emotion like that?
Definitely.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
what else?
so fucking cool. That's
mean,
This
that-
when it's all. Oh, go ahead, Russ.
No, it's yeah. So it you know, it was this one guy, this drummer I know in my neighborhood. He would say like, "It don't happen every night, but when it does, you know," he's like this crazy character. But it's true. It's just whoa. It just some of those Beacon jams are like that. It was just like it was just whoa. It just yeah. And I'm constantly searching for that as a listener too, or you know, what did we my daughter and I we were all together at at Louisville, Kentucky. We played in that band. I can't remember the name of the band, but it was like a really emotional song. We're both looking at each other like, whoa.
those are the best moments.
It's one of the biggest rewards in music, I believe, as a listener
Yes.
and a player, is that, I mean, because you can't make that happen. You can't pay for that or anything. It's just something that happened. And when it does, like, you know, like we were talking earlier about discovering new music, a new band, when something makes your hair stand up or pay attention, there's nothing like that reward.
Yeah. It's so true. Growing up, my good friend guitar player, we hung out, and we wouldn't be talking about the guy that was that was an amazing lick or chops. It was more about that feeling, about finding that music had that feeling. And Quincy Jones talked about that. It was like wasn't about the how hard the lick was. It was about the give me some goosebumps. You know.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool, man. That he said, you know. Sometimes music can get a little over technical or forced, I call it, you know. And I'm going in the opposite direction.
Or what does Cyril say? It's like at the end of the show, there's so many. He played so many notes, they had to sweep them up. They covered the stage. Nobody could walk.
He's an animal. That guy's amazing.
Oh, he's
amazing.
beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
He's
man.
crazy, man. We both had this drum clinic together. We teaching and whatever. There's a bunch of drummers, and they had like every night they have a drum concert. And I remember he's just so, oh, my brother, the chops, man. And I knew I was hanging around the right guy, because sometimes you'd be like, oh man, the kids had the fist up in the air like with the, but they're not gonna like me.
Hey man, we all got our superpowers. We all have our tools, man.
Yeah, I just give him a shuffle or something, you know, whatever. But
Ray, I gotta ask you a question, man, and give you a little backstory before I do.
All right, shoot.
In 2016, we all moved together from Las Vegas to Portland, and I had hepatitis C for 20 years when we moved up here. And when we very first got up here, the job that I got offered to pay for my treatment, and I got cured of hepatitis C, which was like, gave me a new lease on life. I lost like 100 pounds. I felt different. This show started. All this beautiful stuff came out of it.
Yeah.
And in 2018, you had that brain tumor. And I'm just wondering, you know, if coming through that did anything spiritually for you, if it took you anywhere. Because I know that for me, man, I'm emotional talking about it. It brought me to a completely different place in my life, man. And we were all worried about you, so I'm just curious how it
Yeah, it was a lost year for sure. I think one of the main things it did for me, and it was all because of, my friends and family and all these people, just like, and people I didn't even know, like supporting and helping and putting out these good vibes. It was so, I still get kind of teared up, like even talking about it, because the whole, I don't know, the spiritual vibe or something that was coming at me it was almost palpable. Like, it was like I could almost touch it. It was really beautiful and powerful. And, thank God, like, I'm fine now. It all worked out. It could have gone the other way, but it didn't. And I think the thing that I learned in that, I can almost picture the moment. It was like 3 days after I knew what was going on and how bad it was. And my wife, Colleen, like, she was talking about it too, that there's a Japanese word for it, and I can't remember now, but it basically means complete submission to just letting everything go and putting it in the hands of others. And I had never really, like, I'll take care of my own shit, thank you very much kind of person. And most people are, I think, to some extent. But this was like absolute, there is nothing you can do on your own. And I just let it go. And it was the most liberating feeling. It was like, okay, I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid of what's going to happen. It's just like complete letting go. And now I'm back and I'm just as big an asshole as I was.
Yeah, I'll admit it. No. He uses that brain tumor excuse all the time.
All the time.
I didn't learn that part.
Russ, you got to drive.
I used to have a brain tumor, man.
But wait a minute, Ray, you said that you felt it almost like it was like palpable. Like, how was it coming at you that you felt it?
Oh, just in, like a good friend of mine who I've worked for, he's a good builder, worked for him for a long time. And he was like one of the first persons who came to the hospital, and he was like, look, let me tell you something. His daughter, when she was a tiny baby, had all these strokes. It was terrible. He had that terrible time. She's fine now, and it's great, and it's beautiful, but he went through hell. And he said the one really beautiful spot in a situation like this is that even if you're in a hospital, even if you're on your deathbed, the love that is going to come at you and that is going to grow out of this among all the people that maybe don't even know each other, it's a real thing. And he was absolutely right. And I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. And I hope none of you, have to go through something like that. Or if you do, I hope that it's fine. But it just, I can't explain it. It just this, it's just like almost a physical thing. It's just like waving through the air. It's just very bizarre. I'd love to answer your question.
No, I mean, it's kind of similar to like, what we can't put our finger on when we get that goosebump moment, it's in the air, it's felt, but it's not local. And it's not, it doesn't have a container, That's beautiful.
I mean, if you think about human beings as a spiritual thing, and we're all connected energetically to this web or whatever on the planet, and connected through that, we do feel each other. I mean, music is a perfect example of transmitting feeling through sound. And if thousands of people are focused on you and sending you vibes, good vibes, how could you not feel that? Is how I feel about that. Like, of course, yes, of course you do, because we're all, it may all seem separate, but we're all part of the same thing, and we're all in it together. Agree. We're in the ocean.
Especially if we tune in. You know, like if we're all tuned in to 98.5 and that's where you are.
It's a
then
terrible
that's
radio station in Vegas.
I just
That's the first thing that came to mind.
it was the first thing, but no, like in what you were saying, babe, like if we are a web and we're all focused at this angle toward the web, then that angle is gonna feel it. And that's, I mean, we can't say what feeling is because again, it's not
a thing.
It's exactly, but
Tangible
we know
thing.
we feel feelings.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, Ray, like I had never met you. I had only listened to you, playing music, and I was worried about you, man. And I'm really glad you're okay. I'm glad you're still here making music and talking to us, and it's cool to see that love and intention can help somebody make it through some shit.
Yeah, no, it's really true. But when I started seeing people after it was all over, they would say, "Oh man, it's so good to see you," and I could always say, "Not as good as it is for me to see you."
Fuck yeah,
man. That's so true.
So, when's the next Tab show? No, I'm just kidding.
That's a good question. They're working on it right now, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. Well, we had a meeting with our booking guy yesterday, and he was like, "You hear the news?" I'm like, "What? What's going on?" He goes, "Because Biden, July 1st, he said everything's going to be good, So we were like, I wasn't really trying to think too much about it, but
I had a
they're
friend
thinking about it. So
You can't hide that smile
Man.
that's coming from behind that mic right there, Russ.
Russ, I got to tell you, man, yesterday, a friend of mine texted me and he was like, Biden said that, by July 1st, everything's going to be cool. And there's this festival and this show and that. And I was like, look, man, if I learned anything from 2020, it's that I don't know shit and anything can happen. So at this point, man, let's just be happy that they're announcing stuff and move on with our day. I'm not getting too excited. So
yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
I don't want to get my feelings crushed.
Take what we can get, which is an awesome album that you guys have brought out and are about to bring out. And thanks for doing that. I mean, it's just what you normally would do. It's your normal creative path, but thanks for honoring that because it's blessing so many people and jamming, like it's always great to see people's craft, but then when you can groove to someone's craft, it takes it to a whole new level. So thanks, Russ, again. And,
Thank you.
I don't know where Ray went, but
Did we
thanks,
lose
Ray.
Ray?
Yeah, we lost
I think we
Ray.
might have
It's
lost
cool.
Ray. It's all right.
You know what, though, man? When we talk to musicians, Russ, normally it's like they're from one band that we love. You're from like three.
Yeah.
At this point, you're
very
from
lucky.
yourself, Russ. You're just a standalone, awesome musician, period, with or without anyone else around. And that's incredible right there. Thank you for that. Truly, because I had this morning, this was like a small thing that happened, but we just put out an episode and one of our listeners personally texted me because I shared something on the beginning of that show that he was also going through. And, like you just said, you put out your music and you're enjoying it. You're having a good time. And to somebody come back to you and be like, hey, that was amazing specifically, or, something to your playing or your showmanship, it does something. And so just, from me, from us, like what you do personally, even with all the great musicians around you, what you're putting out personally is inspiring and so helpful and so meaningful and needed through this time, before this time, and on down the line.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that because, to stay in this business and it's hard. It's really hard, and it's whatever. You got to keep pushing forward and people like you guys appreciate it, whatever. It's inspiring,
Yeah,
Well, it's
no,
mutual.
all the way around.
Yeah.
I think that's the point is like, what you're
exactly.
doing is helping us do what we are doing to help people what they're doing. You know what I mean? And so I guess I just never, on a personal note, never realized the gravity of just doing your art, just doing your craft, just kind of following your dream, how that is such a, leaves stardust, you know, kind of in behind your heels for other people to pick up on.
Well,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It means a lot. It means a lot.
It does. To us too, Russ, for
Good.
real. Like I just wanted to convey that because here you are a second time coming on the show, and we could talk about something completely different than we did last time, and it's still just as powerful and relevant, you know?
yeah. And seriously, like what I said at the beginning of our talk is real, man. Like that the beacon shows were a beacon. It was a thing.
Definitely.
And you know, please convey that to the rest of the guys when you see them from us, man, that in this corner of the planet, in this little dot in the multiverse, made a huge impact. And it helped us get through some bullshit. So thanks, man.
Yeah, that was the intention that Trey originally had. And he was so excited that people are feeling that way. Even like the people who worked there were able to come back and work. You know?
Yeah, man.
Everybody was like, thank you. Because it was like, I remember that day, it's like the last, we played in New York and then we had one more gig and that was it. We had like one of our last two New York shows have been really good. And to me, it's like, you know, if you're getting people out in New York, something's going right. You know? I felt like, you know, or whatever, you know, I mean, I'm like, I felt like, yeah, some success, you know, whatever, that little success. I remember like it was a beautiful night and we just unloading out, just like, yeah, man, that was good stuff. Like we had 4 people, you know, it's not about how many people, but it is, you know.
No,
I hear you, man.
Keep moving forward. You know, you put your time in, put in a long day, you know, and it's all worth it. And it's great.
It's all worth it.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, when it's safe and we finally get to hang out, I got a big hug for you. So thank you.
Socially
Me
distanced
too,
hug.
man.
Yeah, I can't wait till we can hug
I
again.
appreciate you guys. You know.
Look, we got your back on this corner, Russ. So just so that you know, we have your back. You know, like if we're in the corner of the ring, every time you come back, we're here for you. You know, we're gonna wipe the brow. We're gonna give you a drink. We're gonna cheer you on.
All right.
Yeah, we got
Ray back.
Ray.
Right.
That's cool.
Hey,
All right.
back. Sorry about that.
It's cool,
That's
man.
all right, man. We were just
Gotta
wrapping
do
up
your
with
thing.
Russ and showing him some love and just saying thank you for what you guys do, man. And look, and I said this to Russ a little bit, but just by following your own path and playing your best and making yourself happy by expressing your emotion, you're blessing everybody else. And for that, I just want to thank you from us personally, because, you know, you may know that, you may hear that, but it never hurts to hear it again and to really know that what you did, especially during a time where a lot of new stuff wasn't coming out, you guys were diligent and did that. It's a special thing to be to us and to be witness to. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, you're a part of the soundtracks of our lives now.
Yeah.
We absolutely love it, man. I was going to add. I think you answered this earlier. You don't have a release date right now for the new.
Did you say April?
For Mimi
likes it. Mimi digs it.
We're hoping that. I think I forget Russ now, but it looks like it's probably going to be beginning of April. Would be my guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got like a 2-tier because we're doing vinyl, and it's unbelievable. Vinyl takes like 3 months to get made, you know. Now
what?
They're so yeah, you wouldn't believe it. And I kind of poked around like I'll go talk to somebody else. Like, oh yeah, I can have it to you by June 15th. I'm like, wow.
Whoa.
So so vinyl is back in the mix, whereas years ago they were giving it away. You know.
Are you doing any like cool colored vinyl or any fun stuff?
I think we might.
Yeah, we're in the
standard
process of that.
You know.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna go classy black.
Yeah.
You guys are classy. I gotta tell you. Yeah, there's class over here in this corner.
Yeah.
Well,
we got the cool cover, and yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, I remember when the transition to CDs and nobody was, you know, I used to go to this little place and called a record exchange, and I remember even like 5 years ago, like, guys, how you doing? How's business? I'm getting kind of nervous because I love you guys and we're doing great.
Yeah.
Like the place is stacked, you know, you go there now, you can't move. It's like,
right on.
It was a trip when everything went from album to CD, because buying an album when I was a kid in the 70s, buying an album was an event. Like
Yeah.
you got
like a ritual.
You got the liner notes and you got to read all the cool stuff that was in there. It was artwork. Sometimes there was booklets and and then that just all went
hanging on your wall like a piece of art.
Yeah. I bought like albums just because of the cover. I used to do a thing, one album a week when I was a kid. I just took a chance, you know.
The album that stands out in my mind when you say that, I was a kid. I had never listened to them. I bought the Blue Oyster Cult album because of the album cover. I had no idea who they were.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, man. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for blessing us with what you do.
Yeah.
And we will definitely, when you guys do have a release date set, as always, Aaron's great at that, blasting it out there and getting people to listen. And we can't wait to hear new music from you guys. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's
Thank
coming.
you so much.
Cool,
yeah,
man.
it's coming, man. We're so excited.
Be safe out there, you guys. We'll see you soon. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
Wow.
Aw,
That's some cool cats, man.
that was rad.
Very cool cats. Yeah, you can like see the connection that they have, those two guys, and they
the camaraderie.
they hang out.
It's almost like they could have been in the other room.
That's what I was gonna say. They hang out the way they play together.
Yeah.
Or do they
Yeah.
play the way they hang out together?
To me,
Probably a little both.
this is the at least where it sticks out most in my mind, where the people that are playing together, like their the interplay between them is just like their music.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I don't always notice that. I'm not saying it never happens. I just don't always notice it, but it's really apparent between
With guys like that. Yeah. And
with Russ and Ray.
it dawned on me at the end, like I said, 3 bands that like each one is its own unique home run.
Yeah.
And talk to our son-in-law. It's hard to make it in the music business.
Yes, it is.
It's tough.
There's a lot that is going against you in the music business.
Yeah.
You know, because if the music business was just playing your instrument good, then I think that
there'd be lots
it'd
of
be way different than it looks right now. But it's not. There's a lot of behind the scenes that goes into it. You know, we were just talking to Adam about making that new music video. There's a lot that goes into it. The concept, the working with other artists, you know, ideas, like, and then it's the music, you know, like I'm talking about making a video.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys, they're just creating, and I feel like their attitudes are really kind of like pushing forward everything that they're doing.
Well, so like I was saying, you know, to hit one home run in the music business is a big deal. To do it 3 times, you know, that's a different story altogether. And then I don't know, maybe, and this is a wrong thinking in my head, but like those guys aren't just getting started.
No.
They are established, known musicians. There's another level there. They're on another level of like communication and understanding, listening. I think at that level of musicianship, it becomes more of a spiritual thing, even if you don't see it like that, because it's not as much about chops at that point. You have muscle memory.
Yeah, it's like not a profession; it's life.
I think
it's not.
Yeah,
I kind of equate it to being a parent and then being a grandparent. Like we don't take care of little kids, and I remember when we had little kids, like we were scared of certain, like if they fell, we got so scared, or if they were being naughty, you know, like, oh my God, you know, how do we calm them down? But as a grandparent, it's, they're just being a little punk. They're tired. Or when you're young, you don't know that they're tired. You're learning this language. as you get older and you're taking care of people, you learn it. And so with them, they've learned their instrument. They've learned other musicians. They've learned the business. So I would imagine that it's easier to create when you're not trying to learn everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
New kinds of creation can come out because you're not boggled down by learning a new thing. And it's not to take away from learning, because even Ray said, he's like, I'm still learning, like, so they're still learning, but you kind of take it for granted, all the things that you already have learned that you don't got to bring with you right now.
Like when he said that, like when you asked that question, he was like, when you go into it with the mindset of how you're going to play it, that's exactly how it's going to come out.
Yeah.
If you go into it just blind and
Jump off the
playing,
cliff.
then that's when those moments, that the happy
Very
accidents
true.
and that happen.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying about the muscle memory. Like it's not, you're not building it in you. That thing is in you 100%. And now you're, like Apple said, you're living the thing. It's happening through you instead of you doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We're all saying, in just
so we're
different
all saying
ways.
that, in a roundabout.
Yeah, which is,
Roundabout way.
that's what's cool. But that's what music is. They're saying the same things in different ways, because there's only so many notes you can play.
I don't know. Cyril said they were all over the floor.
Yeah,
You had to shoot 'em up.
but see, they're still collected on the ground. There's only so many notes. There's only so many. No, I think sounds are different than notes. You can make an infinite amount of sounds.
I want to talk to Cyril.
Well, then you make different sounds. Like Aaron pointed out, it's like that's not often that happens. Is like, we just talked to somebody from 3 of our favorite bands, and with each of those conglomerations, it's a completely different thing that comes out.
Well,
of
yeah,
that, and
and
they create together.
Don't forget Ray is in 2 or 3. Yeah, never mind. I take it all back. Yeah, there's all 3. Wow.
Trey. They're in Trey bands. And it's 313.
313 with 3 bands. So what have we learned today? We learned jump off the cliff. You might smash into the ground, but you could also fly.
We learned that you can create something fucking magical if you just give it 1 to 2 times a week.
And when you're down, when you feel you're down and out, that the love is going to surround you if you're open to it. With Ray talking about what happened with
that's
him,
true
that
too.
was amazing to hear him get out, and
Yeah,
convey to us. With that's not something that's easy to
And use your time
convey.
wisely. That's another thing.
Wash your hands.
Yeah.
We didn't learn that from this. We've learned it from everything else, but not from this.
We learned that chickens can be really good critics.
Yeah, some of them don't like.
Yeah, some of them don't like it,
Salmon.
but the road dog or road chickens that hang in there.
We don't know if he was. Help you, I like that. We don't know if he was deaf or what.
It could have been deaf, but Mimi dug it.
That you got to do what you got to do.
Boom. Well, we're gonna leave you with that.
You got to do what you got to do, guys.
Do it,
gals.
Go
everyone.
do it. You know what? Sometimes you got to sit through the shit, and then you get to have a party afterwards. I don't know.
That's most of the time. You got to eat the food you don't want, then you can have dessert. You got to go to school, then you can go to the party later. You got to go to work, then you can get your check. You always have to do the bum stuff first, and then
bullshit. I don't
it's
like
true.
that. That's one of those parent life things. It's like,
no, you got to have foreplay before you get to the main course. You can't. You don't have to, but it's better.
You can't have your pudding if you don't eat your meat.
That's what
exactly.
Thank you, Apple.
See?
Took the words out of my mouth. Damn it. All right. Next week, guess what?
We have more stuff
and things, and we're gonna be back. And then you're gonna listen.
We're gonna give you some fun stuff again,
and we're gonna be happy. And then No Simple Road.
Spread some sunshine love.
So take care of each other.
Thanks, Russ and Ray, for a super fun Saturday morning hangout sesh.
Yeah, man.
Everybody be kind. Love one another.
Health and love and prosperity and success and creativity to all.
Safety third. Wash your hands.
Hydrate.
Don't take candy from strangers.
Stop.
Last word.
Hey listeners,
I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps.
And this is Monica Strutt.
And we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.